Yes, the reading from the prophets this week, the Haftorah, can be found on page 818. And Parshat Re'eh itself begins on page 799, and we are in Parshat Re'eh. So a couple of weeks ago, Sunday, August 3rd, we were marking the end of a 3-week period of examining all the brokenness of the world. The 9th day of the month of Av marks the anniversary of the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem. And as such, the 9th of Av is a focal point for examining all the suffering and exile experienced in the world. Following after the 9th of Av, we enter traditionally into a period of 7 weeks of consolation. 7, of course, is a full number, a number of completeness. And these 7 weeks are a time when we re-examine the world from a new perspective, a time emphasizing reconciliation and healing. Appropriately, 7 weeks brings us right up to the beginning of Rosh Hashanah, when we are emphasizing atonement, forgiveness, and reconciliation. Just as on the 9th of Av and the 3 weeks leading up to that day, we are contemplating a broken covenant on the 9th of Av and the 3 weeks leading up to that day. But during the 7 weeks leading away from the 9th of Av and towards Rosh Hashanah, we focus on a repaired covenant. During those 7 weeks of consolation, we read each Shabbat, a Haftorah of consolation. Each of those are from the book of Isaiah. And this week, the Haftorah is from Isaiah, chapters 54 and 55. And I mentioned that you'd see it on page 818. 2 verses in particular from Isaiah that I picked up on. Isaiah 54, chapters 13 and 14. V'chol banayech limudei Adonai v'rav shalom banayech. And all your children shall be learners of God, and great shall be the shalom of your children. It might be translated a little differently in there. Great shall be the shalom of your children. You shall be established through righteousness. You shall be safe from oppression. You shall have no fear from ruin, and it shall not come near you. These verses are given a push by scholars in the Talmud, especially the Chol banayech limudei Adonai, v'rav shalom banayech. All your children shall be learners of God, and great shall be the shalom of your children. In Brachot 64a, Rabbi Elazar, Amar Rabbi Elazar, Amar Rabbi Chanina, Talmidei Chachamim Marbim Shalom Ba'olam. Rabbi Elazar said that Rabbi Chanina said, Torah scholars increase peace in the world, as it is said, and all your children, banayich, shall be taught of the Lord, and great shall be the peace of your children. Al tikre banayich ela bonayich. Do not read banayich, your children, but rather bonayich, your builders. All your builders shall be taught of the Lord, and great shall be the peace of your builders. Spelled the same, but a different vowel. Actually, a long form of the same vowel instead of the short form of that vowel. Do not read children, banayach, but your children, banayach, but your builders, bonayach. Torah scholars are those who build peace for their generation. As it is stated, those who love your Torah have great peace, and there is no stumbling block for them. And this is how Masechet Brachot ends May there be peace within your walls, prosperity within your palaces, because for the sake of my brothers and friends, I shall say, peace be within you. For the sake of the house of the Lord our God, I will seek your good. And may the Lord give strength to his people. The Lord will bless God's people with peace. Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. If all the children of Israel are taught of Adonai, there will be peace for all. On the basis of that discussion, I can now turn to the beginning of this week's Torah Parsha. Re'eh, page 799. Re'eh. See, this day I set before you blessing and curse. Blessing when you obey the commandments of your God Adonai that I enjoin upon you this day, and curse if you do not obey the commandments of your God Adonai, but turn away from the path that I enjoin upon you this day, and follow other gods whom you have not experienced. Interestingly, it doesn't say if you observe, it simply says when you observe. It says as you observe, just you observe. Presumption seems to be you will observe. After all, it's for a blessing. If you don't observe, other things could happen. On the surface, this passage reads, when you observe the mitzvot I am describing here, you will experience blessing. And when you do not observe the mitzvot I am describing here, you will experience curse. And so much of the rest of the Parsha is describing details of particular mitzvot. Although there is a big hole in the logic of the reading when we are explicitly told to reject false prophets. I think we are left wondering, how do we know when a prophet is false? And this is where it seems to me a century ago, in 1919, one Jewish teacher entered this discussion with an essay on the question, how do we know what Jewish law is? How do we know when a mitzvah is a mitzvah? That particular teacher is named Franz Rosenzweig, and he was a German Jewish teacher, particularly right after the end of World War I. And, by the way, he was a teacher of mine. Direct line. Teacher of a teacher of mine. Franz Rosenzweig. Rosenzweig titled his particular essay, The Builders. The Builders. Based on the teaching that the children of Israel, Banayach, your builders, your children, when they study Torah, are the builders of Torah. Bonayach, your builders. So in his essay, The Builders, Rosenzweig is asking this question of how we know when a mitzvah is a mitzvah. I'm not really doing justice to his essay, but he connects the question to how we experience the doing of the mitzvah. We can know that a mitzvah is a mitzvah when we and that mitzvah come alive as we do it. As we do it, we come alive. As we do it, the mitzvah comes alive. We can know it is a mitzvah when in our doing that mitzvah, we come alive internally and the world finds peace externally, connecting the teaching in the text to the teaching of experience. Again, I'm not doing his writing full justice, but Rosenzweig is connecting the mitzvah as described in our sacred text with what we experience in its performance. Perhaps further, he is saying that the mitzvah itself that is described in the text is only real and true through the way we experience it in life. In this way, we, the children of Israel, truly are the builders of Torah, because Torah comes about in the world through the way we live in our lives and through the impact of Torah in the way we live our lives. It is as if we might read the opening of this week's Parsha, not to say, if you do the mitzvot I have written here, you shall be blessed. And if you do not do the mitzvot I have written here, you shall be cursed. But rather, when your actions are a blessing, that is my mitzvah. And when your actions are a curse, that is not my mitzvah. From this we might learn that because Torah is a way of shalom, a way of peace and wholeness, a life lived in a way that accumulatively increases shalom, is ultimately the life of mitzvah commanded of us. That we can discern what is Torah and what is not, at least in part, by the impact that our Torah has on the world. It should be added that none of this happens without an ongoing practice of Torah study. You have to be studying Torah in order for Torah to grow out of your life in this way. For Talmud Torah keneged kulam, the study of Torah equates to them all. Franz Rosenzweig's approach was all about listening and study, and listening as we study, and listening as we do. To be sure, this does not answer all of our questions, any more than this week's Torah Parsha answers for us how to discern between the true prophet we are supposed to accept versus the false prophet we are told not to accept. But it stands to reason that teaching and action that destroys the world cannot be accepted as Torah. Teaching and action that destroys the world cannot be accepted as Torah. This week's Parsha begins with the insistence that we should see. See, I place before you both the blessing and the curse. Act towards blessing. And the Parsha ends with the command that we should show up and be seen in our community. You'll notice sometimes when I translated the Mishnah that we study just before the Barchu, I said, these are the things without measure. These are things that have no defined measure, and one of them is simply showing up. Showing up. When I translated it that way, it has to do with being seen. I also had this passage of Torah in mind. 3 times a year, on Passover, Shavuot, and on Sukkot, we are to come to Jerusalem. These are the 3 pilgrimage festivals. But the text does not say, you shall travel to my holy place. It says, you shall be seen in my holy place. Appear, you shall be seen. Not, you shall see my holy place, or you shall visit my holy place. You shall be seen in my holy place. You are appearing there. Not so that you can experience that setting, but so that others can experience your presence. This is being part of community, and it is being part of community through which Torah emerges. The discernment of Torah happens when we come together as children of Israel in community, showing up together as community so that others can see us there. Others can see their community there, celebrating Torah as a life directed toward Shalom. You are a child of Israel and a builder of Torah in the way you study and live your life. Know, therefore, that we each, as individuals and together as community, are faced with choice. We can build towards blessing or tear down with curse. Together, we can assist each other in discerning and creating Torah based on blessing and mitzvah. Shabbat Shalom.